tonight you're playing it off Broadway, which is a small, very intimate venue.
Yeah.
So for everyone out there who's listening, this is your chance now to see them before things get really large. They're doing Wakarusa, Coachella, Bonnaroo, and Lollapalooza. They just did South by Southwest at Willie Nelson's house. Like, not just like, oh, you're just at a venue. Like, you think anybody just plays at Willie Nelson's house? I don't think so. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to go see them at a small, intimate venue before the closest you get is like 100 feet. You know what I mean? When you're like out, and that's what. Have you been to these festivals? Some of these festivals, Bonnaroo, and like these massive crowds. Do you change your setup at all? You know, and what kind of songs you're gonna do and everything as per the venue, or do you just kind of roll with it?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has a different vibe. You know, we're honestly like figuring it out kind of as we go, like the larger stage thing, because you know we have gone from like random bar to decent sized club with like real stages, but you can still kind of generally interact in those situations. But then, you know, we're doing larger shows for like radio stations and festivals or whatever, and there's these barriers, so even the person up front is like 20 feet away from you.
I always think that has to be the weirdest, like
It's
that
really
and
strange.
like late night shows where like the audience is like multiple feet away from you and they're sitting in their seats, and it's just such a strange.
Yeah. Well, the thing with late night shows, like you kind of are energized and it's one song.
You're
But
like, I
with
can
these,
do
like,
this.
and you're just like, and you blast through it. But with our, particularly, I guess our band, we kind of feed off the crowd so much that when the audience is sort of really out of your sight line at all, you're 3 songs in, you're like, oh, I'm exhausted. What's going on? You know, and you like realize.
And they're so far away from you. There's like this giant gap.
Yeah. So, and you like consider jumping across it, and then think of a few horror stories of hearing about bands just totally missing.
How athletic am I today?
Yeah.
How much adrenaline's pumping through this bad
The
boy?
answer is not that athletic.
Well, then I know that you are a pianist, but like rumor has it, you say no to keyboards, and that you actually travel with a pretty large. You know, you'll travel as much as you can with a really large, like almost 300-pound piano. How does that work out?
Yeah, it just kind of I guess it's something that I've ended up talking about, but it wasn't like I don't know. It just kind of, to me, seemed obvious. Like, if you're going to play piano, you want to play a piano.
Does everyone
not a
else get
keyboard.
tired of you asking them to assist you in walking the piano upstairs, downstairs?
Yeah, I get tired of it for sure, but I'm pretty sure everybody else does too. I mean, you got 4 people doing it. It's got handles. It's not the best thing in the world, but obviously we've, I guess, decided that it was worth it, you know, and the few shows that we do have to play where I have to rent something or whatever, I mean, it's obviously like a different, the interaction with it is different, you know, the piano is like solid, weighty thing in front of me, whereas even the older vintage like keyboards that I do try to rent, when we have to rent something, it's like they're 2 pieces and they fall apart.
I was gonna say, are you terrified when you're just like rocking out like Elton John? The whole thing is just gonna go tumbling over into that gap between you and the audience, and no one's gonna get it. And how's that gonna work?
It's totally. I mean, I built something with a friend of mine for when we played Conan because we had to fly out.
Yeah.
And so I built this contraption to kind of hold the thing together and be able to somewhat interact with it the same way as my piano. But it's totally. It's. I mean, for me, it's just kind of. I kind of dreamed up this thing of like, I wish there was an electric guitar version of a piano, and then I went into like a local music store that I was in there all the time when I was in high school, and the guy was like, "Oh man, they made one of those." And I was like, "Really?" And
awesome.
Then, I mean, I was like,
I'll take it.
Pre-Google, I think I asked Jeeves where it was or something, and
our listeners remember pre-Google. We're old enough. We remember.
That's like
we don't want to.
It's like AD, BC. And
could you imagine touring in a van without like Google Maps and map? Like, we just can't even imagine. You guys are already taking
5
it.
years of like maps, like no GPS, because we couldn't afford. There were GPSs, but we couldn't afford them.
Of course not.
And then
I don't even know how we made it to the clubs.
We would drive.
I don't remember what
we would just head towards the highway.
Yeah,
it would be like. We're
Ask
going
every
south
venue to print
today,
out your MapQuest map to the next venue.
Yeah.
It's like in the writer. There must be a MapQuest map ready for our next trip as part of this.
And
well, you guys are already champs. This long stretch you're about to do in a van and with a piano as much as possible, dragging that thing along. And now, thank goodness for Google Maps. But you guys are going to play another tune you guys got another one for us?
Yeah.
All right, what are you going to play now?
This song's called Hard Times.
This is J. Roddy Walston and The Business.
Ready?
good times will come, the good times will roll away. You can get a good time, the good time ain't gonna stay. So I'm gonna come to you, I'm gonna come to you. Yeah, you're a hard time, but you're the kind that's long and true. Yeah, you're a hard time, but I'm gonna come to you. And we'll be making good time, making good time, making good time. Down the road, down the road. And then the bad times will come, yeah, the bad times will come, yeah, the bad times will come. Darling, my hard time, yeah, my hard time is slow. Old man wanna live, the young man he wanna die. The old man knows better, but the young man he gotta try. So I'm gonna come to you, I'm gonna come to you. When it comes my time, I'm gonna come to you. And we'll be making good time, making good time, making good time. Down the road, down the road. And then the bad times will come, yeah, the bad times will come, yeah, the bad times will come.